and we'll have the very first rookie race in the BF4. We've done something similar in the past for BF1 and BF2, but it's never happened before in BF4. This is the most rookies that we've had in the season, obviously, since its inception. So we're going to have 10 rookies in the field today, which is an impressive number. That is just under half of the 2025 field that will be rookies. So we're doing a little bit of an orientation race today, and it should be very interesting to see how these rookies get along, obviously. So it's going to be a really fun ride. I hope it's we put on some good racing for you today. The 5 red lights will go out, and the green flag is in the air for the first ever rookie race in the BF4. Kana Arima and Jiro Yakuin, 2 Japanese drivers, starting out on the front row for Red Bull Junior Team and us Racing. And look at this, already Jiro Yakuin trying to make a move to the back end of Kana Arima. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do into these first couple of corners. Everyone's single file. Oh, and look at that dive to the inside by Yakuin, really wanting to get by this number 7 machine early on and try to set sail. We saw Yakuin was the fastest in practice by over a second, but just fouled up a little bit in his qualifying run. Still managed to qualify second, and look at this move to the outside. Does he have it? This side by side. Oh, they almost touch, and Yakuin takes the first spot. What an incredible move, and already some intense racing from these rookies, and an incredible move for the first spot by Jiro Yakuin on the first lap. Let's take another look on board how this move came to pass. Yakuin, well on board with, goes to the inside. Not enough of a move there. It's a smart decision by him to back out of it. The 7 doesn't get a very good exit to the corner, so the 72 has to kind of back out of it. And then look at this. He thinks about going to the inside. Arima covers, but she can't quite get to the outside. And look at how close that was, almost in the grass, as Yakuin trying to pull that move off and just barely clears into the first spot. And he starts to set sail in that 72 machine. Oh boy, yellow flags on the racetrack for the first time today, and that's Kana Arima and I believe Akane Kirikawa. Oh boy, so that's the second and third place drivers, and that is not good. The first full course yellow of the race comes out, and it takes 2 of our young rookies out of the race. Team Red Bull Juniors Kana Arima and Team Itasha's Akane Kirikawa. Remember, these 2 are rivals on and off the track, and that is obviously not how they wanted their orientation race to go. Let's see if we can tell what happened here. This is from the first angle, along the outside wall. There goes Yakuin by. And then they're coming in. Oh! And that looked like Akane was on the inside of Kana, and the 2 came together one way or another, and both ended up hard into the outside wall. And no matter who's in those cars, they seem to find each other this year. Remember, Maki Kitagawa and Shoko Makinahara in those cars right now, and they're having a bit of a budding rivalry this year as well. And this is continued on. Doesn't matter the drivers, it's still the same 2 cars. Let's get another look at this. This is on board with Akane Kirikawa. Remember, she'll be racing full-time in the OTSP next year as well. So she's going to be doing a little bit of double duty, some on the track, some off it. Still on the track, technically. Oh, and that looked like Kana Arima just didn't realize that she wasn't clear of Kirikawa in the 53. And we're going to have to get a couple of angles of that. I'm not entirely sure if that was just a racing incident or what happened there. It'll certainly be interesting to see what the drivers have to say about this incident here, because the Itasha racing car is obviously on the inside of the Red Bull Junior team car, but the 7 is running her line. Kitagawa, excuse me, it's going to be hard to remember that. Kirikawa is a little bit off her line, but I mean, the 7 just comes across, and I'm not sure if that was the spotter's issue, or if Kana just came across the track, didn't realize that she wasn't entirely clear of the 53 machine. But regardless of that, though, these are the kinks that you have to work out if you're a rookie. it's good to have these type of incidents now so you don't make the same mistakes later. Obviously, we talked about these two being rivals on and off the track. They're not too friendly with each other, so I'm not sure how this one's going to go down, but it is just a practice race, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens here, but you know, certainly no love lost between the two after that accident there, and hopefully that got the crashing out of this system for next season. Here's another look. On board to the inside goes Kurikawa, on board with Arima right now, and the two just sort of come together. I mean, it looked to me like Arima realized that the 53 was there and tried to turn away at the last second, but the two had already hooked wheels, so there was nothing that she could do. But yeah, that is definitely a type of crash that you want to avoid going into your first full-time season next year. But obviously, lessons need to be learned, and that's one way to do it, I guess, if we look on the bright side. Kana Arima and Akane Kurikawa bring out the first full course caution of the day, and it's for a relatively big accident. The two come together, get into the outside wall. We'll be back after this short break. And the battle for the lead has heated up. Jiro Yakuin, and to the outside, or to the inside rather, is Declan Turess in the CSS Motorsports entry. Oh, and they're side by side, almost making contact. Turess pulls back behind the 72, trying to make a move to the inside. Oh, and drives into the grass a little bit there to try to avoid the block by the 72 machine. We saw the 7 and 53 come together earlier in the race because of that. And now Turess going around the outside, trying to make that pass stick. And does he do it? He's ahead, and he is clear. What a move by Declan Turess to take the first spot. On board with Turess. He gets to the outside. Now they're side by side for the first spot. Jiro is going to come across here, and Declan is just behind the 72 machine. And now he's alongside, but he has to get out of the gas just a little bit and gets into the grass on the inside. No penalty was assessed to the number 10 machine because it was off of a block by the 72. And then he just sends it in on the outside, and a brilliant move there by Declan Turess, and it sticks. And he manages to go through to the first spot. I mean, however you can get it right, that was a fantastic pass by the rookie. Oh, and we got one off the track. That is the number 14 machine of Voya Bogdanovic. And she is in the sand trap, and she's going to be able to keep going. But that car looks like it might have some damage on it. We'll have to see a replay. But here's another look. Down into the corner. Oh, it looks like she may have gotten on the outside curbs on the entry to the corner, and actually does get a piece of the outside wall there. And obviously you can't slow down once you're into the sand here at Automation Test Track, so she does make some contact. We'll have to see if that has any impact on her run, and she is now coming into the pits, so there might be something wrong with that car. On board with Voya through this accident. Oh, and she actually started spinning out before she even got on the curb. The car almost flipped over there after it hit a bump in the sand. And frustrated, obviously, trying to get the car back on the track. She was running in the 4th position when this accident happened, so she's going to lose a whole bunch of spots if her car is not taken out. Yeah, it's pulling to the right, so something wrong with that car. No full course caution was assessed, though. It was just a caution in the, or a yellow flag in the sector, excuse me. And that obviously did some pretty significant suspension damage to Boganovic's car, so she will unfortunately be out of this race after running in the 4th spot. But once again, the green flag stayed out, and we are still racing. And this battle for the lead has not slowed down this entire run time. Jiro Yakuin now on the back of Declan Turess. He pulls to the inside. Will this be the move for the lead? No, not quite. Yakuin has to pull back in line, but he's to the inside of Turess now. No, he pulls back again. Declan Turess retains the lead, but a big run to the outside from Jiro Yakuin in the number 72 machine. The 10 of Declan Turess trying to hold him off. A big lockup from the 72. Will he go to the outside? Yes, he will. He's trying to pull the same move that he did on the 7 car on the first lap of the race. Declan Turess can't defend that move. The 72 gets by into the first spot, trying to block Declan Turess, but he gets to the inside. We'll have to see if he's there. Yes, he is. He's alongside. This battle for the lead is incredible between these two rookies. Side by side, Declan Turess pulls back to the inside. They're still side by side into the corner. Will the 72 hold around the outside? Yes, he does. He clears into the first spot. But Declan Turess coming back on the inside now. Not quite. Oh, and sideways for the 72. But he hangs on to it. What a save by the 72 machine. Sensational racing by these rookies right now. They want every single spot. Here is another look on board with Jiro Yakuin. He pulls to the inside, and he's there right here, but he pulls out. He knows that that Turess is going to send it in. Smart move there. And then Turess gets a really bad exit. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. But they're going to send it into this corner that we've seen many times before. And Turess just goes a little bit wide. Doesn't get a good exit, and the 72 is there now. He's to the outside. Declan knows that he can't make a move around that car, and we'll go on board with him here as the 72 is trying to block that move, but in doing so he gives him a little bit of a slipstream, and now Turess is alongside him. Turess is fully alongside him here. He actually pulls ahead for a second, and watch this 72 car. He's actually going to send it all the way into the corner, comes around the outside. He's clear right now. But that car just does not stick. It gets out of the racetrack. And then watch this. Oh my goodness, that car is wrecked. How did he save that? Jiro Yakuin with one of the most impressive drives I think we can say safely from a rookie race. And what a debut for the BF4 rookie race. 10 drivers. There were a little bit of fireworks during the early portion of the racetrack, but there was never a dull moment in this race. The 72 machine of Jiro Yakuin pulls away from Declan Turess in the second spot, and he is on his way home to his first victory of hopefully many for AUS Racing, taking over for Lotus Coughlin next year. Out of the final couple of corners up the hill, what a deserved victory for this young man. The 17-year-old Japanese driver, Jiro Yakuin, is going to come to the line, and he wins the 2025 BF4 rookie race, his first career win. Oh, and he pops up into the air and into the wall. What a celebration that was.